Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch with Crime Talk, and thanks for watching. We have a huge docket today. First, the New York criminal justice system is imploding. How could that possibly have happened? Second, another cop gone wild, arrested. Third, another example of why the world is losing their mind. Fourth, free speech does not include hurting anyone. An Oregon man has learned that lesson. Fifth, a teen killer has been released on bond. Community groups raised their bond money. Six, Derek Chauvin's police chief says he knew exactly what he was doing. Seven, Latisha Stout. We're going to explain why you probably want to get your legal news from an attorney. And finally, our dumb criminal contestant of the day. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch with Crime Talk, and thanks for watching. We would ask, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a comment, and hit that bell so that you receive notifications of when we go live or when we put up new content. First on the docket, the New York criminal justice system is imploding. Oh my gosh, how could this have happened? I am so surprised. I can't believe this is happening. Of course I can. What did the people of New York City expect? When murders are up 24% over this time last year because they don't want the police to do anything about it, what do you expect? Crime begets crime. If people think they can commit crime and get away with it, they're going to commit more crime. It's going to encourage other people to commit more crime. As a defense attorney, we want to make sure people's rights are protected. But the duty, the social contract that we have with our government is that they're supposed to provide safety so that our rights are not infringed. And when other people are taking your property or other people are punching you in the nose and stealing your wallet, they are infringing upon your rights, and that needs to be protected. The New York police departments and their chiefs have basically said that this has been a perfect storm, that bail reform has been absolutely terrible because, well, everybody gets out of custody almost regardless of what you do, and the legislature should probably change that. With the COVID-19 and the riots, the police are saying that they obviously encourage people to engage in peaceful protest. But even if you have 500 people there that are protesting peacefully and you get 50 that are there that want to commit crime, well, they can't control everything, which kind of goes back to one of my tenets in life. At the end of the day, you are on your own. You have to be able to take care of yourself and protect yourself. We will see how New York City continues to crumble. And I guess it'll be the New York cities of the late 70s, early 80s, where nobody would go. And it was terrible. It wasn't until it was cleaned up that turned Times Square into a place where people actually wanted to go again. Next on the docket, another cop on video going wild, arrested for assault. Melinda Katz, who's the Queens District Attorney, has filed charges against a police officer in New York, 39-year-old Officer David Affendor. And he has been charged based upon an incident that went down Sunday at Rockaway Beach, and he's now facing charges of attempted aggravated strangulation and strangulation in the second degree. He's been suspended without pay while he was attempting to put Ricky Bellevue under arrest. He's seen wrapping his arm around a man's neck, and according to the criminal complaint, Affendor choked out Mr. Bellevue in between 8 to 12 seconds, and Mr. Bellevue did in fact go unconscious. Officer Affendor faces up to 7 years prison if he is in fact convicted. Additionally, we'll have to watch and see if he will be terminated from the police department. And this incident is significant because it occurred less than 1 week after the New York City ban on chokeholds. Apparently, Officer Affendor didn't get the memo. And this is the type of situation that is the only way is going to deter conduct. People need swift punishment, deterrence, so they know what they can and cannot do. Other officers soon will follow, and hopefully people can be arrested without being choked out. Next on the docket, a case of why the world is losing their mind. According to the Sacramento Sheriff's Department, deputies responded to a call to two females fighting at a 7-Eleven on June 22nd. When they arrived, there was a woman that had been beaten up and was being treated by medical workers for minor injuries. She apparently didn't want to press charges, but ultimately decided that she would. The woman who did the hitting has not been released and has not been identified, even though through social media, her husband says that she was in fact released. We have an incident where people are referring to this Karen incident, where a woman basically accepted a challenge to call a black woman an inappropriate word on the video. Apparently, the one woman claims that she simply said, "Excuse me." The other woman said that something else was said. If she was ever referred to again by that derogatory term, that she would kick her ass. Well, the white woman said that word, and she got her ass kicked. Now, one would say these are fighting words. You cannot go around using that word because it inflames people's passions and you could get punched. The reason why you come to our channel is because this is what I do for a living. Let me tell you, you can't go around calling people names like that. But if you are called a name, you can't punch people. I had a very similar situation. Client once was dating a young woman. The mother did not like the gentleman. She referred to him by a very derogatory term, whereupon he punched her in the nose and broke her nose. It was a second-degree assault case carrying 5 to 16 years in prison. We knew we weren't going to win on the defense, but we got a heat of passion instruction, which took it down a penalty level under state law. The lesson to be learned here is if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And if someone's going to use that type of term, don't punch them. They may deserve it, but don't punch them because it's legal trouble you just don't need. Now, this Karen situation is very similar to another one that was captured in Arizona where a woman was slapped where she questioned the birthplace of the individuals in line. Once again, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And it looks like the people were simply minding their own business, whereupon this woman wanted to speak to a manager in true Karen fashion. A quick recess where at least you can find a little certainty in the world. As we've seen, sometimes you just don't know who you're dealing with on the other side. Wouldn't it be nice to do that? Yes. Wouldn't you like to be able to get a background check on just about everyone that you come in contact with? Of course you would. Well, now you can. For a low price, you can get an unlimited subscription where you have a no-risk trial. You can search anyone anonymously. You get to search literally billions of public records, and a report is prepared almost instantly that includes social media, criminal records, background checks, court records, as well as property records. And I'm telling you, we use this product ourselves. We had a situation, somebody was talking about a potential business opportunity. I said, what do you know about the person involved? We did the background search, bam. There was some derogatory information that wasn't disclosed and things that would certainly make people change their mind if they knew about it. That's how valuable this is. Go to crimetalksearch.com, sign up for your subscription. You will be satisfied. Keeping with the free speech theme of today's show, let's talk about Jeremy Joseph Christian. He's 38, and in February, he was found guilty of stabbing two individuals on a train in Oregon. Mr. Christian stabbed Taliesin Michi and Ricky Best, who were killed on a train after a racist and hate-filled tirade. Some of Christian's rants were directed at 2 teenagers who were wearing headscarves. Micah Fletcher, who was 21 at the time and on the train, was attacked and survived with injuries. Mr. Christian, before receiving his 2 consecutive life sentences, stated to the court, "I do regret that 2 people died, but I do not regret my actions that led to their death. Nor was it my explicit intent to murder anyone," he said in court. And although Mr. Christian thought that he was exercising his free speech, when Miss Michi pulled out a cell phone and sought to record him, Mr. Christian grabbed the phone, threw it to the floor, and within seconds pulled a knife and stabbed Michi and Best. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, America, you can say lots of things, but you can't go around harming other people simply because they want to record your statements that you probably don't want preserved for future posterity. And once again, do what your mother's told you to do. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Next on the docket, an alleged teen killer is released on bond. A Wisconsin woman accused of fatally shooting her ex-sexual abuser in 2018 was released from jail on Monday after nearly 2 years behind bars. Multiple community groups raised $400,000 to pay Krystal Kaiser's bond. Kaiser was 17 when she is alleged to have killed Randall Voller III, 34, in what some have called a case of self-defense. It's been alleged that Kaiser, now 19, met Voller when she was 16 after she posted an advertisement on Backpage.com. Voller was reportedly the first person to respond to the ad, which Kaiser said she put the ad up to help pay for school supplies and snacks. At the time of the death, Voller was under investigation for sex trafficking and possession of child pornography. Prosecutors admitted the fact and that he apparently had items of girls under the age of 12. Testimony in previous hearings revealed that in the night of the slaying, Voller paid an Uber to bring Kaiser to his home. Kaiser spent several hours at Voller's home and shared a pizza with Voller before she allegedly shot him in the head. She then set Voller's house on fire and fled in his BMW, according to the news. Kaiser's bond was originally set at $1 million. However, the judge lowered her bond to $400,000 in February. An appellate court is currently deciding whether the affirmative defense would be available as being a victim of sex trafficker in her trial. Once that decision is made, then a trial date can in fact be set. It'll be an interesting issue. A lot of people have tried this similar type of defense in the past, and it usually has not worked. Next on the docket, Derek Chauvin's boss said he knew exactly what he was doing. Minneapolis Police Chief Medaria Arredondo, the chief said that the officers knew what was happening. One intentionally caused it, and the others failed to prevent it, he said. This was murder. This was not a lack of training. According to the chief, both Chauvin and Tao both received training to avoid suffocation in people being restrained in a prone or face-down position. And obviously, they received training that you probably shouldn't put your knee in somebody's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Next on the docket, Latisha Stout case. Ladies and gentlemen, I have said that the reason why we started this channel in the past was because I got really frustrated on what I saw on the evening news, where people would talk about things that are taking place in the judicial system that they knew nothing about. It was frustrating. They got it wrong, and a lot of it was just pure speculation. Well, that's why you should probably get your advice when it comes to legal matters from a practicing attorney. I received a message of somebody trying to say that Latisha Stout is somehow going to get off based upon recent filings in the court case. So I went and looked at the recent filings. And what they were concerned about was when the competency issue was raised, the district attorney in the minute order states that he does not want restoration restored immediately. And what was said that was in the minute order was that the district attorney objected to restoration proceedings beginning immediately. That doesn't mean that he thought that she was not competent to proceed. No. But if you don't know the legal system and how it works, is if the person is found not to be competent, they could stay down at the Mental Health Institute here in Pueblo, Colorado, and they could begin restoration process. Or they could bring the individual back and they could have a hearing and they could possibly have a second evaluation. Okay? If she comes back competent, the defense may want a second evaluation. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go spreading fear and panic based upon things you don't know what you're talking about. Facts matter. The law matters. And when people start speculating on things that they don't know much about, it creates fear and panic, and that's how these rumors get started. Let's stick to the facts, all right? Next on the docket, our dumb criminal contestant of the day. Our dumb criminal contestant is a Connecticut man charged with threatening to shoot police on social media, and he said Thursday that the posting was a satirical response to a video showing what he calls police misconduct in Georgia. Alexander Hassinger, 24, was arrested in Newtown on Wednesday evening on harassment and breach of the peace charges. According to the police, Hassinger posted a threat earlier in the day saying, quote, "I'm going to kill a cop today. When they ask me why I did it, I'm going to tell them he's acting nervous and looked at me wrong." Someone in Virginia apparently reported the post. The police responded. Now, Mr. Hassinger, you probably shouldn't go around putting what could be perceived as threats on the internet. So you are our dumb criminal contestant of the day. But as a quick teachable moment here is that Mr. Hassinger probably committed no crime. You have to have a threat, usually has to be directed to a specific person. You cannot have it to be a general threat. However, Mr. Hassinger, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. It creates a lot of issues. Certainly you have a right to just about say anything you want, and the courts are going to decide whether it's in fact a crime. Now, I know Mr. Hassinger now wants to sue the police department for $700,000, although I don't think he's going to prevail, nor do I think that he probably committed a crime. As someone who has tried many true threat cases over the years, this does not seem to rise to that particular level. As you may recall, there were lots of people that thought that there was a threat, but when NWA had their song of F the Police, that was not a threat either, although some police officers considered it as such. All right, that's all we have for today. Kind of freedom of speech thing. Yes, you can say just about anything you want. You don't have a right to not be offended, and if you are, you usually can't go around punching people. It's probably better just to keep your mouth shut, and if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Crime Talk. Have a great day.